Hi everyone, Matthew Donovan here. Just wanted to put together the April video for my 2018 resolutions. I've got the page up here on my screen, so I have those resolutions to look at. First one, as always, languages. So languages, this was tough. I jumped around a lot on this one in the month of April. I finished, March was Spanish. The cultivation of Spanish was the trip to Madrid and Pamplona. Then when I got back to Canada, I said I want to focus on German. I did that for about a week, and then, long story short, it looks like I'll be going to Hungary in September. So with that, I changed this one up so that as of now, I'm focusing on Hungarian. It's been tough so far, but I'll talk that in just a moment. But basically, because of this, because I'll be going to Hungary in September, I've decided to put German on hold. Although I did have a lesson with a German speaker just to keep those skills up. I do quite enjoy the language, but I pushed. It said here that it was Italian after that, and then Hebrew and Polish, and I changed that. The last video I put together, I said I changed that to just be German, and now it's changed once again to be Hungarian. So let's talk a little bit about Hungarian. It's very tough. I'm about 10 days into it, and the alphabet is the same as Latin alphabets, so that's very helpful. There are a couple of letters that have accents that are different, but for the most part, very simple to read. And as well, like some languages, every letter or combination of letters has an associated sound, and it's always pronounced that way. So that's very helpful from a pronunciation point of view, and it also doesn't look like there are any groups of letters or sounds that are super difficult to pronounce. Like in Spanish, they had the R that's a rolled R that I can't quite pronounce, and some other sounds, but it doesn't look like that's the case for Hungarian. So in terms of speaking, should be fine. In terms of everything else is where it gets difficult. There's lots of different verb conjugations, lots of noun cases, noun conjugations. The word order is confusing and all of these things, but I'm not discouraged. It's I've got, what do I have, 4 months just about ahead of me to focus on that. So it will be a long journey, and it definitely is a long journey. I've already started to have a couple of my mini stories that I use translated into Hungarian. I'm looking to get audio for them as well, but really that's the goal. It's Hungarian is the focus now for the next 4 months, and to that end, I've actually scheduled and I've had some lessons with different Hungarian tutors on italki, and this language more so. Typically with Spanish or German or the other, Czech, for example, I would find I had 1 or 2 different tutors, but for the most part, they all seem to understand what I want, what I'd wanted, and that type of thing. Lots of speaking practice and not really harping home and hammering home the grammar. But I did find, I think I had 3 different Hungarian tutors that I tried, and one of them I did not like at all. Very focused on the grammar and the conjugation, and I would say something, and the pronunciation as well. I had only been learning language for about a week, and she wouldn't let me progress beyond, nope, you've said this word, you're not pronouncing it correctly, we need to keep repeating over and over and over again until you get that word correct. And I kept saying, look, I'm a week in, I will get better with more exposure, with more input, I will understand. But for now, I just want to grasp the basics. I want to see how does the language operate, and the reason I have these tutors so early on is just so I have someone to talk to and bounce ideas off of and clarify. So all that to say, I experimented with 3 different tutors. One I didn't like for that reason, very much harping home on perfection and grammar 1 week in, which I didn't want. So I basically said, okay, I'll just keep booking lessons with the other tutors. So that's where I'm at. Is I found a little bit of content. It's not fully supported on LingQ as a language, so it doesn't have content already there, but I can still use the platform to read content, find content. Also, I'm looking at, are there ebooks, are there audiobooks, are there videos, where can I get Hungarian input material? But that's where we are for right now, and it's a tough language, as they all are in the early stages, but not discouraged. But that's the goal, is in May, Hungarian. Reading, the goal is 6 books. In April, I wasn't able to read any books. I'm hoping that in May, now that school has started, I should have more time. So with that in mind, I need to make a conscious effort to sit down, do some reading. I've got the books. I've got a lot of books here. In fact, I brought my bookshelf from my parents' home, so I have that here. It's just a matter of putting the books on the shelf, seeing what I have available, and picking books out to read. I talked about this earlier on. I talked about it last year as well when I wasn't exercising as much. Is these are all important goals, and yes, being busy is a choice. It's not an excuse by any means. And when we become busy, we need to pick priorities. So with that said, when there aren't enough hours in the week, I always want to focus on language over reading, for example, or language over exercise. And as a result, that's why reading and exercise have typically fallen. They've been at the bottom of the priority list, and as a result, they don't happen. But the goal is, at least during this semester, I have more time available. I should be able to get to some of these items further down my list. So that's where we are in terms of reading. It didn't happen in April. I am very confident, very hopeful that now that I'm in this new semester, I should be able to get some reading done. But I do have some better news on the exercise front. I was able to go running twice on the treadmill in the month of April. I'm hoping as well that that will pick up now that we're in May, that new semester has started. I have more time available. I'm hoping I have time to go running more, but also to go swimming at the Laurier pool. The time seemed to fit very well. Each day when I finish my classes, I could go for a quick swim, or Tuesdays in the evening, I'm going to be teaching, once again, I'm going to be a teaching assistant for Business 111, the first year business course. And it just so happens that the way that that's working out on Tuesdays, I should have a couple of hours in between my two labs. I'm hoping to be able to go swimming then. So if that'll be fit right in, I won't be after classes, it'll be in the middle of my two labs. A nice break, that's what I'm hoping to do. But as I said, I went running twice in the month of April. I always enjoy running, and it's like a half hour of my day. It's just a matter of going down, getting on the treadmill, starting to run. Once I'm there, I enjoy it. Just making sure I've got the time to do that. But again, I'm hoping that as well will pick up now that we're in the new semester. I'm thinking I may put some sort of tracker or a link to an Excel sheet or something on my website just to keep track of these things and record them, but I haven't decided that at this time. Co-op. So co-op is wrapped up now. April was the final month, but the way the goal is written is to continue learning and be valuable to Sun Life Financial. So I think I learned a lot about the organization, about what I was doing within there, and the second part, be valuable to Sun Life. I think that I succeeded. I received an incredibly outstanding review from my supervisor, from my manager, so that was a great end to the term. But it's not the end of my time at Sun Life. I've actually kept working, and I will be continuing to work for them on a casual part-time basis going forward. So it's the end of my co-op. It's not the end of my working at Sun Life. So that is something that's a great opportunity to have, to be able to keep working for Sun Life. But during the final month, there was a lot of just trying to wrap up these projects that I was on, put together some documentation, put systems in place so that things could continue when I'm not, or now that I'm not there every single day. But I think as a whole, looking back at the 4 months, I did quite enjoy the time at Sun Life. It was a great opportunity, a great experience, and a great environment as well to work at. And that's, as I said, I'm much more pleased with the 4 months than I was expecting to be when I went into the 4 months. I was obviously hoping to enjoy it, but I've enjoyed it much more so than I was expecting, and also learned a lot more and had many different experiences from what I was expecting, all for the better. But now that that's done, co-op is finished. My next co-op term will actually be next year in the summer, so 12 months from now, May of 2019 is when I'll be starting my next co-op. I don't know yet what I want to do for my next co-op, where I want to be, what I want to do. Those are all things that I need to figure out, but I do want to take a month or so right now just to relax and say, look, one's done. I don't need to get looking for the next one right away. I can take a bit of time and just relax. But that's co-op. I think it was very well done. A great 4 months. As I said, I very much enjoyed it. And it's not actually over because I am continuing to work for Sun Life. Finally, we have involvement. So on the list, business TA, JDC team, emergency response team, and MLSB in the summer. I'll just talk with them one by one. So business TA. Again, I'll be TAing, as I mentioned, for Business 111 in the summer term. Same commitment as last term, same commitment as 2 terms ago. I quite enjoy that. It's a great group of people. I like the content. I like teaching it. I like working with the different professors who are teaching it. Great experience all around. I quite enjoy that. So that I'm continuing to do, and I'm happy to have been given that opportunity once again for another semester. Now, JDC team, and I'll expand JDC team. I think I did the same last month to be the international teams. I had a tryout for the debate team as part of the JDC team. I tried out for debate. The tryout went well, but as I said to everyone organizing it, I'm happy to go wherever I'd be best situated, and that's not debate. I knew that going into the tryout. I wanted to have some fun. I quite enjoyed debating, and I did have fun at the tryout. It's not where I'm going to end up. There's other spots on the team that I'd be better suited for, that would work better for the team as a whole. So I'm happy to do that, as I said. I don't yet know where that will be. I'll be on the team for sure. I don't know what I'll be doing. I'm waiting for that email. Hopefully it should come out in a couple of weeks. But that's where that is right now, is I'll be on the team again. Our practices for JDC won't really start until the fall. We know it'll be in Guelph. That was just released. So next January, around the first weekend in January, I'll be in Guelph for the competition. We'll be practicing starting in September. I don't yet know what I'll be doing. That's pretty well on hold over the summer. But what is not on hold is our international team off to Hungary. So last month in March, I went to Spain to compete there. 3 out of the 4 people on the team have been asked to go to Hungary in the fall. The 4th person has graduated, so he's no longer at Laurier. So the 3 of us who went to Spain this year will be joined by 1 member of the team from the year previous who went to Spain. So there'll be 4 of us off to Hungary in middle of September. That's why I'm learning Hungarian. And as a result, we may have a couple of practices over the summer. We don't yet know what we'll be doing there, but as always, 3 of the 4 of us have worked together and practiced for 4 months in training for our Spain competition. We're all on JDC. We've all practiced. We all have these different international case experiences. So we'll be working over the summer at whatever we decide in terms of practices, all working towards our competition second week in September in Hungary, as I said. And then pretty well once that's done, then the real JDC tryouts will begin and will continue. Yeah, it's 2 different teams basically. So as a result, one is over the summer leading up to that competition, and then once that's done, JDC will start. Very excited, and it was a great opportunity to be chosen both to go to the Spain team and also to go to Hungary. There wasn't a ton that happened in April on that front, but again, over the next semester we'll be training in whatever capacity for Hungary. And finally, the emergency response team. So over the month of April, that's when final exams happened. The emergency response team shut down, I think, the first weekend, maybe the 5th or 6th of April. Just due to exams, we sort of stopped shifting. There are fewer people on campus, and as well our responders aren't as available because they have their own exams. I didn't. I was on co-op, but the majority of people did. I was, in fact, the only person on the team who was on co-op last term. So April was a slow month for the emergency response team, but I did apply. I've been given an interview for an executive position for the upcoming year. I don't yet know if I want to be an executive again or if I want to be just a general member. The interview will happen sometime in May. We don't yet know when that will be. But again, I don't know what positions will be available or what executive positions might be offered to me if I'm successful with that interview. But that's really a question of deciding that I need to figure out is, do I want to come back on the team? The answer is yes. But do I want to come back as an executive? Do I want to come back as a general member? And what executive positions might be available? So that's something that hopefully in the middle of May I'll be able to have some more experiences with that, figuring out and more knowledge about the way the team is looking and what positions might be available, but nothing more happening till middle or end of May on the interview front there. And finally, the last thing we have for involvement is MLSB in the summer. I've signed up for a team. A couple of friends of mine who are also double degree students are in my core classes this summer, so we're on the same team. We're playing Monday, Wednesday, and as well there's some other TAs that I worked alongside and just other people that I know from living in residence with in first year or whatever else. So I think it's going to be a good semester. So that's currently I'm signed up for the softball on Mondays and Wednesdays and looking forward to that. But I'm thinking that likely it will be the swimming that will be every single day. MLSB would be great to interact with and get to better know some of the people in my core, but I'm not. It's not great exercise. It's not real softball. There's some made up rules basically. There's no double plays allowed. Really, there's no need to run. If you hit the ball and you go into the outfield in any capacity, you either are given a single or a double. So not a lot of opportunity to throw people out and make all sorts of plays or even a need to run. So again, it's a great social opportunity, not as much so an exercise opportunity. So from that point of view, I do need to make sure I'm swimming and running, as I talked about earlier. But the focus April was wrapping up the co-op term and putting all of that neatly packaged so that I can hand it off to back to Sun Life now that I won't be there on a full-time capacity, and looking forward into the new semester that starts, or that has started now in May. That will bring with it hopefully more free time to get working on everything else that I want to achieve. So with that in mind, that is the April update. As always, thanks for watching, and I'm hoping to put out a new video today just talking about languages. But as always, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.